What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Apartment Shenanigans, the podcast where we talk about whatever we feel like talking about. And right now, we are going to be talking about Harry Potter and, wow, not Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. We just got back from the movie, and I'm here with Justin, friend of the show, Kim, also friend of the show, and my brother and Helen, who actually have their own podcast that they're starting up. It's called MUVIESHQ. Movie spelled with a U instead of a O. So if you like quick, collective, and calm little movie reviews, go follow them and check it out. But onward to Crimes of Grindelwald. I guess first things first. What was everyone's just first opinions after just leaving the theater?
Boo.
My mind has exploded, but they could have said that in 10 minutes.
Said what?
Wait, is this a spoiler free or?
No.
Oh, okay. They just didn't need it. A lot of the middle ground. I don't know.
True.
What do you mean by the middle ground?
Like probably the first hour and a half of the movie.
I mean, you just read.
You're not wrong. It was a really slow build-up.
It was, right?
Yeah.
It did feel
it was
slow.
slow, and then once they got to the they had a lot of moving parts, but once they got into the trap, then it started picking up speed in the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that was so short.
Then it ended so abruptly.
Yeah, I thought that was the end of the movie.
I didn't think they ended it abruptly at all, actually.
No, if they'd ended it there, that would have been abrupt.
Yeah.
But
They had that little closing sequence.
Yeah, the way they ended it at Hogwarts, I thought that was really well done. But the movie was slow. When I'm in the theater, I'm like, huh. And I start thinking of what's going on, like what's taking so long in the plot. Yeah, I had that at one point. But how long was the movie overall? Like hour 17? 117 minutes, I mean?
So, I disagree with all of you. I enjoyed the movie because I think the cliffhanger got everyone's attention, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say the movie was really about Grindelwald building his army.
Oh, I love the movie. So, I liked it a lot. But I just think it was a little slow.
So you guys are saying it's slow, but I think it's slow because you had to understand the world. So we understood the first movie, we went back to America, right?
Mm-hmm.
We learned the different characters. This movie, we're going to London, why is the wizarding world divided? Jacob and, was it Quentin? They can't be together. Oh, there's tension between everyone. Oh, what's going on? Dumbledore even warns them, the Ministry of Magic. You guys are tyrants right now. You guys are going to push people to his cause. Y'all keep going the way you're doing.
Right.
And they're like, I don't care about that. So I think that's what the beginning of the movie's doing. It is explaining the world and how is Grindelwald, because you see Voldemort and Grindelwald, how are these guys controlling so many people? And you see it in the conclusion in the end, he's not controlling people. People are willingly coming to him because they're picking up what he's putting down. And I think that's what the beginning half of the movie was. Now, was it as intense and character-driven like the other Harry Potter movies?
See, not even judging from the other Harry Potter movies, but the first Fantastic Beasts movie, you had to introduce everyone who loved Harry Potter to a brand new set of cast, older cast, characters we only heard about very briefly in the original series, and it was a lot more fun. It was Newt collecting his beasts, and it was a really just feel-good movie. And then at the end is when you're like, oh, this is the overarching plot that's going to be happening. Yeah, this movie dove into more so of the intensity of what's going to build up to, and I think that's exactly what it was, a build up to the next three in the series.
I agree. The first movie was the character introduction. This one was okay, here's the world we're getting to, and this is how he has his army. And now I guess the next three are going to be them battling it out.
Yeah, everyone, this whole movie, even all the marketing was someone needs to choose a side. And that's the whole thing. What side are you going to choose? Newt said he never picked sides, and he ends up choosing a side at the very end because of everything that occurred. I concur. Occurred during the movie, but
it feels like this movie has too many questions, though.
But she does that.
That's what
J.K. Rowling always does that, and that's another reason.
I mean, that's why you make a series though, because she's trying to make it something that's
think about the original Harry Potter books.
Yes.
Well, I mean, the questions aren't not to be good questions. These are questions of like, well, why would you take that turn? There are things that J.K. Rowling has done where it's just like that didn't make any sense.
But I feel like it's just because we don't know the context. Because I think the biggest thing is we know it's going to build up to Harry Potter. We're just curious, how does it all connect? And when something goes, well, we're not expecting, we're like, why or how? I feel like that just happens when you make a prequel.
Well, no. My thing is, J.K. Rowling does leave questions, but sometimes she does leave bad questions. Like, what was the entire point of introducing wordless spells if you were never going to touch on that again?
What do you mean? They use them all the time.
In the sixth book, seventh, when does Dumbledore die?
Sixth.
In the sixth book, at the very beginning, they bring up casting wordless spells, or casting spells that you say in your head, and then you say a different one aloud, but it casts the one that you meant in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
They bring that up, and then never touch it again. But they bring it up as a way to say that, hey, Draco, say a spell in your mind, say you killed him, blah, 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 and then it never gets touched again. So I'm like, and as a writer, J.K. Rowling had a lot more time to actually fully develop pretty much the entire Harry Potter series. The scripts that came out for the Harry Potter movies, a lot more time to actually build them up and write them out. These movies are coming out way faster, and J.K. Rowling admits that sometimes she gets scattered, and she has thrown out, entire half of, books that she was writing when she was writing the Harry Potter series. So, I know there's the benefit of the doubt, but slowly things are, the things that she keeps tossing into the universe just kind of seem to break her universe a little bit more. It's just okay, that's not what you put in the continuity, and I know continuities can change, but okay, that's...
Do you have any, specific examples of that?
McGonagall shouldn't be in the movie at all. McGonagall is 70 when the kids are at school. That's the 90s.
I'm not sure.
So if it takes... They say it in the books.
I'm pretty
She's a sprightly 70 and Dumbledore's 135.
Yeah.
This movie takes place in the 1920s. The books takes place in the 1990s. McGonagall was an infant.
I know a lot of people were pissed off when the trailers came out that Dumbledore was shown to be the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. Be like, no, he's always been the Transfiguration teacher before becoming headmaster. But
exactly.
It's why can't he become the Transfiguration teacher and then headmaster? Which in this movie they do say you won't be the teacher anymore. So maybe that's when it starts. Who knows? But I feel like that's a really small thing, and it could just be he transferred classes. Very small details.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's also just kind of nitpicking as well.
Well, some of the things are big things, like the whole Lestrange family thing. Because I looked it up. There's no follow-up on their tree on how you get to Bellatrix.
Okay, so...
And that's what I'm just
they could have had squibs.
The Lestranges would kill their squibs.
Well, no, there is. We didn't pay attention to it at the time. In the 5th movie, Sirius takes Harry into his room to show him...
And the Scorched?
To show him his family tree. And there is a Lestrange side of it. We just don't look at it. But I'm pretty sure Lita's there. We just don't know yet. We just weren't paying attention to how it connects. But I'm pretty sure it's there.
Well, if Lita's there, there's still no follow-up on how they get to Bellatrix.
But then that's also taking the movie continuity into effect. It's what's canon in the Harry Potter series? Are the books canon? Are the movies canon? My head canon is the books are canon for Harry Potter. The movies are canon for Fantastic Beasts. Because J.K. Rowling was 100% a part of both of those. Mm-hmm. The movies she was, but they can change. It's just an adaptation. It's an adaptation of the source material, not the original.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So, if we saw it in the movie, did it mention the book? Or was that just something the director was let's add this?
Well, no. In the book, I remember there was a whole page where they showed the family tree. Because that was one of my favorite things about the Harry Potter books. You would get, full, hey, details. But yeah, well, that kind of makes it worse when you have continuity errors and you're the writer of the entire continuity.
Is it really reasonable for an author to remember everything she's written in a book series that's gone on how many pages?
Over 20 years she's been writing it since
and I'm pretty sure she's 90s. Not going back and rereading her books. Now everyone out here,
but it's her responsibility to do so.
Yeah, it literally is. I'm a writer. Yeah,
that's literally her responsibility. You create the world. You have to keep the world the way that you created it. You can't just be like, oh, JK, but no, that's her responsibility to know that. Like she has created this in her mind. She wrote it down on a napkin on a train.
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I do give her the benefit of the doubt. She does forget a small thing or two.
I mean, if you tell a story and you repeat that story, you never say it the same way.
But
it's different when it's written down.
Strange is a huge part. It's not like, oh, I didn't know who the Longbottom's great-great-grandfather was. It's a Lestrange family.
This is literally 2 generations out from Bellatrix, because Bellatrix is what, 40, 50 in
Bellatrix is married into it.
Yeah, she is married. She's still married into it, but the Lestranges are a dark wizard family.
Yeah.
And
a pure blood dark wizard family.
So it goes from pure blood dark wizard family, something happened in the 20s and something separated them, because it's just like, there's no way that all of a sudden it's just like, well, now they're not, but somebody I don't know how it's gonna pick up, like, somebody took up the Lestrange name and then joined in.
If there's an explanation, that'll make sense.
We still got 3 movies to fill in those gaps.
Yeah.
I know, but this one lost so much of the magic.
It did. Especially...
I'm deflated.
I mean,
I like the twist, but...
unless the baby didn't die.
That's the only thing, but that baby drowned.
I mean, do we know for sure that the baby drowned?
It was Titanic water. Babies don't do well in cold
water. What if they just thought that was some other baby? Like, she thought that was her brother.
No, because the mom of the baby that she switched, the mom goes down to try and get that baby.
Yeah, but how do we know? But, like, maybe she just didn't see that, the mom got the baby. Or maybe that was another mom with another, like, maybe the babies got switched to moms. I don't know.
Also, her Bogart, the Bogart, when it turned into the baby, it was the baby floating down. She didn't see that.
Well,
but that's her imagination. She saw the boat flip.
Yeah.
So that's the thing she feared most, is not probably knowing that she was the reason he died, but not necessarily knowing.
But technically, you never saw him die.
That's true.
You didn't see him die on screen. If it's not shown, might not actually happen.
The whole problem with magical worlds, because magic can work for anything.
Yeah, it's true.
And unless you can firmly see it, and if you see it, like the very beginning of the movie, we all thought Grindelwald was captured. Next thing you know, shapeshift.
Polyjuice potion.
Polyjuice is so
OP. It's
OP, yeah.
So that was a nod to the 4th book, where what's his face?
Barty Crouch.
Barty Crouch is son and wife does that.
Oh yeah,
they
did
so,
because
they didn't say that the
so
other
that's
wife
why
did
I knew. As soon as I saw that, I was like, "Hey, Barty Crouched him." I was thinking it in my mind.
Barty Crouch Grindelwalded.
Yeah.
Well, originally, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, my thing is, I'm just like, the whole magical thing is so dumb in my opinion. Because in the first movie, they were about to kill Tina, and by putting her in the pool. But they're like, oh, let's just lock Grindelwald up.
Right.
And let's not just kill him right there.
Because he had to pay for his crimes that he did elsewhere.
But that was because Grindelwald was pretending to be Graves, and Graves was the one who sentenced them.
Yeah,
so
but I mean,
why would he care?
At the same time, though, it's just like
why would they agree?
So here's my argument to that. I just understand a lot of people bring that up, but when you kill someone that powerful in that position that abruptly without trying them right,
it creates a vacuum.
It creates a vacuum, and it creates a mortar. You build the following even more. Wait, yeah, y'all watch freaking what's the thing? My Hero Academia. Stain died.
He never died.
Well,
still alive.
Huh?
They never say he died.
Whatever. Okay, that's a whole other thing. that's just a new example you guys don't understand.
And Spider-Man, the game.
Oh yeah.
Stop it! I haven't played that game yet.
It's the opening scene.
Oh. Okay, I want to play it. And there's a reason why I didn't listen to that episode of yours.
I hate the magic world in this universe because magic is a solution for everything. Hey, Newt, you can't go to Europe. You can't travel out of the UK. Okay, so he can't port key. He can't do any of that.
He can't legally travel out.
A train or a boat.
But I told you in the theater.
A car.
I told you in the theater he probably doesn't know how to use a car, and he probably doesn't have the passport that he needs to legally go across.
No. He went across the Atlantic on a boat.
They could have seized his passport.
Went into like Ellis Island. Checked in.
They
he knows how to travel.
They could have seized his passport though.
You know, wizards aren't smart enough to seize a passport. Let's be real.
They could have.
They look the wizarding
I
universe.
think it's implied that they did because that's why they had the discussion at the table saying like we
need your like papers and everything.
Well, I feel like it's like he had to he was filing papers again. They rejected him, but honestly, they didn't take his suitcase or anything like that. And it's just like, guys, technically his suitcase aided and abetted everything he did. Wouldn't it have been a good idea to take? No, it's just a suitcase. The wizarding world in this universe is just like, should we somehow learn about the outside world and maybe practice some of the techniques? No. We have wands.
I mean, we all know that, like, just like from like elite, like the Muggle studies class in Hogwarts, they don't. It's not like they don't keep it modern. They keep it like way back and like.
Why did Hermione take a Muggle studies?
Yeah, that's what I'm like. It makes no sense.
Because she says she wants to learn how people view. Yeah.
My whole thing though is just like, okay, so I guess I don't understand how these universes exist side by side because you still see French culture in the French wizarding community. You still see English culture in the English wizarding community, but they don't interact enough to actually have any kind of like. I mean, moving. It's just because like
they are in London and like in Paris for like Paris and like New York for like the American one, so it's like they are gonna have a little bit of exposure just because you are in like London and you are in.
But she could cover that on her website on Pottermore, like, and have more.
Like,
and you have to think too. We are pretty big into the series, but the casual fan who only seen the movies of Harry Potter and only the movies of Fantastic Beasts, these aren't questions they're asking. These are just questions people who.
This has become a religion for some people, and people look into it with a fine magnifying.
Yeah, these are like the fine continuity errors that we're looking at right now.
This is going back to the whole discussion about how J.K. Rowling doesn't understand America. Oh, I'll save that conversation for later.
Well, so I would argue. I think these. So I feel like she was kind of forced to make a Fantastic Beasts. Like Harry Potter was a gold mine, right?
I want to say forced.
She willingly sold it. She was excited.
I know she's willing to sold it, but why not have it take a deal like Game of Thrones, right?
That would have been so much better.
George R. Martin, he said, "Hey, I'm gonna make my book the way I want to do it. Y'all can do what you want in these movies, but I'm gonna make my book."
So you're saying why didn't she just make a Fantastic Beasts book and then they do what they did with Harry Potter?
Because, like you said, she's getting rushed. Because they started making the movie, she was on book 5 or 6.
4 or 5.
Yeah, and then like she had like I don't know how long it took, but she had the time to do it. So now they're like, hey, well, Fantastic Beasts, she made this little spinoff. We like that money that Harry Potter's making. We want to make a movie, and it's like, okay, well, this is gonna be a prequel, so this could really blow up my world. Because you're right, she did make this world, and it's her responsibility to do that, like you said, Helen. But now she's on a time crunch where you don't have the time to really nitpick and look at everything like that. Like she wrote whole books and threw them out, like you said. Now she doesn't have that time. It's not even a book where she can put every little detail she wants. It's a movie.
And it's a screenplay that she has to condense into 2 hours, which is so hard.
Exactly. Yeah. So now she's in this crunch time trying to figure out the world. And anything she does, fans like these are going to find everything wrong with it
it's
and
not
rip
that
it apart.
Wrong with it. It just doesn't...
Makes sense.
But
she doesn't have the time to do it.
Yeah. You can do a lot more world building in a book than you can in a movie because you have so much more time and like to actually like
because that's everyone's because I haven't read all the books. I think everyone here's read the books with me, right?
I think so.
Every time I have a continuity error with the movies, like I've watched it with her, she's like, "Oh, well, in the books it does blah 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 blah." Right. There's always an explanation, but she hasn't had that opportunity.
Yeah,
because there's plot holes in every single movie. But anyone that reads the book goes, "Oh no, she explains her here." She doesn't have that anymore. So now it's screwing her. So maybe if they can make the movie so she can go back and make a book about it, she can close up all these gaps. But there's always going to be gaps.
She probably won't make a book. She'll probably just do it on Pottermore like she's
Pottermore.
I really hope she doesn't make a book because she okayed what book is it? The book that the book that shall not be named.
It's not a book. It's a play.
Exactly.
It's a book play. Look, it shall not be named.
No, it's a play, and then the book is just the play written out.
I know. Yeah. I know. It's still.
So as long as it continues to be a movie, there will always be continuity error. Unless they make a TV series or something.
Like they should make before
I wanted a Game of Thrones Harry Potter series.
The movies we know, They actually were in talks of making an animated CG show.
That could work.
No.
I would like that, because a show you can add as many episodes as you need, as many seasons as you need. Movies, people will get annoyed with what they're doing with Star Wars. Star Wars is going to go on forever. They're not going to end
and
Star
she
Wars.
is too, and she needs to let it go.
Yeah, she does. Just
and I'm a huge fan.
Girl, you
But,
made your millions. Let it die.
I don't think it's her though. I think it's more those companies.
Or maybe just the pressure she feels.
She
WB's
has
making so
enough
much
money, though, to separate from her contracts and all that.
Exactly.
If she really doesn't like what they're doing.
But why would you want someone else to take your baby
But
away from you? Because they're gonna make the moves whether she's on board or not.
no, they
That's
can't.
going to
She
happen.
has to write over the rights. She's literally
Yeah.
the writer for it, so they can't make it without her.
I feel like these big
Plus,
companies will find a way.
she didn't have to do Fantastic Beasts.
What
at
happens
all.
when she
didn't have
dies?
to. Huh?
What happens when she dies?
That it goes to her estate, and her estate gets to decide. Legal terms.
Alright, well, let's get a little bit on topic of just the movie and then the whole universe as a whole. I mentioned to Helen when we're leaving a lot of little small Easter eggs I noticed in the background.
And events.
One specific one, like in Dumbledore's office, well, not office, but his Defense Against the Dark Arts room, he had, that like weird tower, I can't remember the name of it, to his right. I don't know, it's in his office in the original movies, and they do explain, I can't remember the name of it. But that was just one small thing. But I think I saw the pensive.
The pensive? Yeah.
I think it was in Australia at the end of the movie with Credence and Grindelwald.
Austria.
In Austria.
Thank you.
Same thing, you know.
Very different place.
They have A's.
But I think I saw the pensive there. And then what I thought was, if you guys remember in the books, if a Muggle or no mage comes across Hogwarts, all they see is a broken down like castle.
Yeah.
When they were at Hogwarts at the very end, it was just all like the good guys. If you look at the background, Jacob is like looking around. Like it was really funny, and like I was curious if they knew, like they knew they told him to do that, or he was just in awe of the castle. But I did notice that, and what's it called? There's
Also, how is Jacob Rod to just continue to roam around?
I think well because
So the ministry still thinks that
he's obliterated.
He's obliviated.
Obliviated.
Not obliterated. He's not. He's not a bunch of. He didn't get Thanos.
But yeah, it was the Makuza who knew about him, but no one else. So they probably still think that, and everyone in this movie who met him, they probably like, oh, he's magical. Like,
True.
Everyone at the very end, like he was at the Grindelwald speech, they probably just assumed.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
That's one thing I actually don't necessarily understand as much is how do wizards, like when they went to the Grindelwald speech, they're instantly like everyone here is purebloods. It's like, how can you tell just from like looking at someone that everyone there is a pureblood?
You can't.
But that's like one of the first things they say when they walk in. They're like,
How many people join clubs pretending to be something? You know what I mean? It's just because, like, look at Hitler. He wasn't of pure Aryan race, but
Hitler copied
I don't think he
Grindelwald.
cared who was there if they were pure
I don't
blooded.
think-
yeah, no,
I don't think so
I don't.
either.
It doesn't like. It's not
And
like
I
it matters
also-
who was there, but it's just like one of the first comments that like it was like Queenie. I think she made it. She's like, everyone here is a pureblood. I'm like, how do you know that everyone here is a pureblood?
I think it was Alita.
Was it Lena? I don't know. Someone said that everyone here is pureblood. I don't remember who it was, but I was like, how do you know? It's not like it's not like a big plot point or anything. but I was
Something else
curious.
that bothered me about that was the fact that, all these people, that he got that many people. Because let's be real, if you're just walking down the street, say you are a witch or a wizard, and a freaking black cloak just drops down and be like, I wonder what that's for.
I mean,
like, there was no informational pamphlet that pops out when you touch it. It was just like,
I'm gonna be for real. Like Grindelwald,
But Grindelwald...
I get his point.
Yeah.
Making wizards not hide. I get that.
that is one of those, like, no, I don't hate them. We just want to make them better for the world around them and stop them
But
from
that was
hurting
what
themselves.
Voldemort did as well.
It is.
Said as well. And Voldemort also only
well-
like pure like. See the thing.
Voldemort's was more
See the
volatile.
thing to me is that like everything that happened, I recalled, or I could give you a situation where it happened in the Harry Potter series, like Grindelwald, his little speech there, the fact that it ends in a graveyard, the fourth Harry Potter, what else was there? Yeah, the Barty Crouch thing. Basically, his dark mark was those curtains, things, silk, whatever. I want to know where they get those because those are fancy. But there's just so much that wasn't original about Grindelwald. Which again, maybe
it's Voldemort copying Grindelwald type thing.
Maybe that wasn't. But again, that's something that.
Because again, you're coming from the same writer. So my question: should J.K. drop the series? She has had no more original.
Yes.
J.K. At this point, you're burning yourself out, girl. Because like, if you keep up not with just Harry Potter or the movies, the stuff that she's putting out on the internet is like, girl, just drop it. Nobody asked this question.
I still want to see how this goes into like World War II. Because, like...
What was that?
Right? No, my word!
So, well, we know that Grindelwald works with...
Grindelwald
He works with Nazi Germany in World War II.
So Hitler did copy him.
But my
we do know that.
Like, well, I thought it was interesting, actually, when they showed
millennia. Why now are they like, we gotta stop that?
They showed the atom bomb. Like, that's new. They didn't know that.
Well, I thought it was interesting when they did show that little scene. Jacob was like his reaction seemed like a PTSD war event.
Yeah, he started tearing up
because he was like another war because he was looking at World War I. He's like, I thought that because World War I's like the war to end all wars.
We're never gonna fight ever again after this.
So like, I don't know. I'm not sure if like because I don't know what the magical world like how combined they were with World War I. Like, right. I don't know
if they had any effect or if they just ignored it completely.
Yeah, they might have.
That's other questions.
They might have ignored it completely
in a book.
Because they never talk. Like even like they don't. It's like they don't know the technology that the Muggles have. Like they just completely are unaware of like what weapons they have and all that other stuff.
Which makes
no
sense
but they're not because he knew that was coming.
Well, he knew that be coming from smoking.
But what I mean is that the people the people there didn't know. So like so like it's like if you think and if you're raised to like think like, oh, the Muggles are just like worthless, they don't have any power, then all of a sudden you see like, they have these machines that are capable of doing mass destruction. I'd be a little worried.
We've had guns and cannons since the 1700s, so they kind of were just sitting on it like...
And they have guns in like the last movie too, when Jacob and Newt were breaking into that jewelry shop to get the Niffler. Like, they had guns pointed at them. They know about guns and weapons.
But the thing that, again, kind of bothers me about J.K. Rowling World is witches and wizards. Like, it's the lack of interaction and integration in the societies.
Why do they have to be so secret?
Yeah. Exactly. It's like I understand coming from like those 1400, 1500 views of they'll kill us if they find out about us, but it's 300-400 years later, and not only that, you don't know the weapons they use. You don't know how they live their daily lives. You don't know what a television is, a cell phone.
Ron's dad, how oblivious he is, which I kind of get because he only lived in the wizarding world. That's it.
The good old purpose of the rubber duck.
The fact that they are so oblivious of everything is kind of shocking. And like, what if you're a squib? Like, your parents are magical, but you end up marrying a Muggle, and then you have Muggle kids. Are you not allowed to share? How has it not?
Again, and how many kids are born to Muggle parents and then go to wizarding school? And it's not like these kids aren't going back home. It's like, thank God my parents put blah 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 on VHS tapes and I get to watch them. And your wizarding friends are like, what are VHS tapes? And then you invite them over. And how is like the lack of integration is so confusing.
What also is there like a school before Hogwarts? Like, is there like
no?
Or is that just like the first school they go to?
No,
the first school they go to when they turn 11.
I'm just like, because these kids are like, well, you don't know math, you don't know how to read, you don't know the letters, and you don't know how to write, but you got a wand. It's just like...
that's what I'm like, is Hogwarts the first school they go to? I'm like, it's like, do 1 foot on transfiguration. It's like, do they know how to write? Like,
J.K. Rowling
where they learn this?
They do write and everything.
But they come in writing, but it's never explained how they know how to write. Because kids start showing magic at 5. And it's just like, okay, kids start picking up the magic young. You're gonna teach them how to read?
Like, unless there's just some like magic potion thing they just don't explain it, just give people some general knowledge. I don't know.
That's just typical learning curve.
Maybe it's just all in the biology
families.
In the first Fantastic Beasts movie, Newt does say that no mages and wizards do have different physiology slightly, maybe they have something in their biology that helps them learn that stuff automatically. I don't know.
These parents are like, I'm
just coming up with something on my ass, so I don't know.
Another thing that will bother me about this world is the lack of emotional health that anyone has. Because, again, I'm going to keep saying it. The Harry Potter wizards are the Jedis of the magical world. Should we talk about our emotions and how they make us feel? No, we have magic. Should we express different things and, communicate with one another? No. 90% of this plot could have been solved by, let's sit down and talk about how we're feeling. The whole Queenie thing would have been solved with, let's sit down and talk about how this makes me feel and how that makes you feel.
I think they completely changed Queenie's character in this movie.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
Like, everything that happens in half of these Harry Potter movies are done because nobody is taught emotional health or depth or interpersonal relationships or interpersonal relationships. It's just like, you got magic. You do magic real good. You think this girl is pretty. You love this girl. Oh no, girl loves somebody else. I'm gonna go on a murderous rampage. Sir, there were so many steps you jumped over. What? It just keeps happening, and it's just like, is this like the Jedi thing where it's just like, we just don't talk about it?
You gotta live with the balance.
See, but my thing with Queenie was, couldn't you read Grindelwald's mind, or at least his
they
sidekick?
did say Grindelwald's a seer, and he's really good. What's the
Grindelwald's,
opposite of Legilimens?
Occluments.
Occluments. He's like Occluments.
That's
is a seer.
okay. So I figured that.
But what about the people around him?
Yeah,
because
like
she could have read their mind and know that they don't all have good intentions.
That's true. Yeah, and they, like, in the first movie, they do make it a point that she's such a good legilimens that she can't help but read minds.
Yeah, like when she crashed down on the floor, she was
reading everyone's mind. She was reading
thousands of
everyone's
minds at once,
and she broke down.
And she picked up Jacob's mind, or even his voice, and then it goes back to one woman talking to her. It's like, "Are you okay?" And she looks up at her and doesn't
hear anything, and it's just like,
I mean, but on the other hand, I was kind of thinking it was their way of saying she was enchanted by love because she enchants Jacob. And it's kind of like she's blinded by love, whereas he was like, like, which again was going back to Ron having his love potion.
Love potions. What? Something that I wish they could have had Queenie go over to the evil side, but there could have been a better way to do that.
What I was expecting with Lita, though, I wasn't expecting her to die or burn or whatever happened to her, but I was expecting more stuff to happen between her, Newt, and Tina than just the closure that they had in this movie.
But back to Queenie. Didn't it make sense? I mean, I thought it made sense for her, because what was the only conflict they had? I don't want to marry you because of the law.
But she could have just married him in England.
Not literally.
In America.
No, she couldn't.
No, she couldn't.
No? She couldn't.
They said the ministry manager will come block you up.
The American.
The American.
Not the British.
That's
what she said. The British. She said they treat us better here.
Yeah, that's why she went to London to get married, because
they're more tolerant.
Yeah, they're more
they
tolerant.
literally said that they were going to get married there, though.
But it's not legal.
But
no, she said that. That was when he was still enchanted.
But if they were going to get married, even if he was enchanted, still it would be illegal. But she was willing to do that in Europe and not in America.
He wasn't, and that was the only reason they couldn't be.
No, he wasn't because he what I was getting from that, he wasn't because he obviously wanted to go back to America. He has like his bakery and everything there, and it's frowned upon there. Like that's not something you do there.
I was just thinking that it was he just didn't want her to get in trouble or caught.
That. Yeah.
No, he didn't want her to get trouble.
Yeah, he was like looking out for her. He's just like, I don't want.
And then that's why she went to the other side. She's like, I want this. I can't get it until something changes. So I'm gonna go with the guy that's changing.
Yeah, no, she went over innocently.
But you left
went over for love.
Yeah.
You left the man you loved for love, and it's just like you didn't listen to him at all.
Yeah.
You completely disregarded how he felt.
That's
you disregarded.
No, she just went to the side.
He also pushed her away. He knew that if he said, "You're crazy," that obviously triggered something in her.
If the worst thing you say to someone is "you're crazy,"
I'm sorry, she was. No, but I'm saying, but that's why I think she crossed over.
Mad at somebody saying, "You said my trigger word. You kidnapped me. Pretty much drugged me, took me to another continent, and he said I was going to marry you, and then took me to a Nazi meeting." And we're like, I don't think it's that bad. Yes,
which
you're
Jacob
crazy.
took the whole like enchantment thing pretty well.
Yeah, he did.
He did not care that much. And he was like, I still want to be with you, just don't enchant me again.
That's why I'm like, no, if your actions are crazy.
Why can't they just be together without getting married?
This is the 1920s. She's a good woman.
So, wait, they said that Grindelwald was also very persuasive. I wonder if
it was like a little bit of legitimacy and stuff.
No, what is that called? It's one of the
Silver
unforgivable
tongue, something.
one of the unforgivable curses.
Oh, Imperious?
Yeah.
Imperious curse? Maybe.
I wonder if he had, like, at least her.
See,
because he needed his key players. All those other people, he didn't need them. He was like, yeah, come for a meeting. We're going to talk. Now go out and tell people what you think.
But Queenie's mind reading.
Queenie is, like, there for a reason.
To get
in Grease's mind. So it's like, for her, she also was saying, like, no to a teapot. And then now you're saying she's going to cross the other side for Credence, who she doesn't care about.
I've always been, like, confused about when it came to the Imperious curse. The books explain it in a way where, like, you can just control someone like a puppet. In the movies, when they kind of portray it, it always seems like they're like a mindless drone. Even at the flashback with Lita or Lita's mom, she seemed just like dead-eyed. She was just doing what she was told. Not like
I mean, the blank stare is like part of Imperious. That's part of the curse.
I get that, but the thing is, like, how do people not know? Like, in the original series, when Voldemort died, quote-unquote, and people were like, yeah, we gathered all the Death Eaters, and we're trying to figure out who was the Death Eater, but a lot of people just plead to say, I was under the Imperious curse. How can they, like...
That's where, like Truth Potion becomes such a major plot hole thing, too. You're just like, why wouldn't you just give everyone a little drip of the Truth Potion and when they make their testimony?
Maybe it takes... I don't know.
It's like, but then Dolores Umbridge can just use it on students. Like,
well, she didn't really do anything.
I know, but like, I mean, she didn't do anything illegal. But at the same time, it's just like, if Dolores Umbridge can just use this on random students, is it really that hard to get? And like that amount of qualities?
She was also a follower of Voldemort. Maybe they just had their own ways to get stuff that normal means can't.
So this is a sidebar question. Wasn't Defense Against the Dark Ages a class that is only taken by a certain year of students together and not a mixed class?
No, you take it every year.
I think
it's mixed. It's usually two classes combined. Like two,
but not mixed years, like not first, second, third, or fourth.
Yeah, no, it's same year,
and
but then you
look
usually
at Dumbledore's class and see like an 11-year-old and a 17-year-old in the same classroom and got slightly confused.
I did not.
I did, because I'm just like, you guys,
my only thing is
are
that
too young.
Gryffindors have class with Slytherins, but Newt was a Hufflepuff, and there were also
they don't only have classes with each other.
Yeah,
so they have different classes combined.
But they were all four of them were in there.
I mean, maybe it changed. Maybe they changed the rules or something to make it to make it 2 and 2.
Things
have gotten more and more separate by the time it's Harry Potter age, because they said that it's like, no, we had Ages of Peace, and it was competitive, but it was cool, and then as it gets closer and closer to Harry Potter's years, it's just like, and then they started to hate each other more, and then hate each other more, and then hate each other more. It's like, I think Voldemort is what causes the divide between the houses, not even Grindelwald. It was Voldemort.
What was Grindelwald? I'm assuming he was Slytherin. Did they ever say?
I don't know, though, because he wasn't bad.
Yeah.
He could have been, I don't know, he could have been Gryffindor. I don't know.
But like, Slytherin was just ambition.
But the sort of
ambition
also...
and cunning.
Right, that's him.
I
don't think, has J.K. said?
Let's
I'm sure.
But we're like kind of reaching the end. So
he was loyal.
I'm not sure. He probably was Slytherin. I don't know.
Let's talk about the one thing. Fox and Dumbledore's brother.
She pulled that out of my head just like a rabbit. She was like, yup.
So right before Fox was revealed to be Fox or Phoenix at all, I whispered to Kim, and then I also whispered over to Helen during the movie. I was like, that's Fox, that's Fox. And then like they revealed like right after that. But so because earlier in the movie they said Dumbledore's great grandfather had a Phoenix, and when it died, it never came back, but it's going to come back to a Dumbledore. That basically confirms that Credence is a Dumbledore. But what was Credence's name?
Yeah, so I'm like, I knew that.
What was his name and Credence? I can't remember.
Aurelius.
It's another A, which again goes
supports with it.
Because it's Albus, Aberforth, Ariana. And then
Ariana lucked out in that family.
Yeah. I mean, other than the fact that she got killed. But
I think she avoided a lot of stuff.
But like, because we were talking about if Credence really is Dumbledore's brother, how is he related to him? And we thought maybe Aberforth was.
I think it's gotta be. I think it's gotta be Aberforth.
There's a huge age difference. Yeah. Huge.
It's gotta be Aberforth because I don't like Dumbledore's gay, so I don't think he has any. Like, I don't really make sense for him.
But like, he's gay, but like. Maybe.
Only for Grindelwald?
You know, you want to know what bothers me? It's like,
he's gay, but he'll still do stuff.
You are in your prime. You are a gorgeous man. And that's what you fell for. Every person I talk to is just like, no. You are in your, like, bearish prime, and you're just like, I want that one. The crazy-eyed one?
I mean, Dumbledore is a little, you know... Not all there.
He's definitely not all there.
Yeah, he's definitely not all there. And then, like, he's also, like, you know, maybe power attracts power type thing. So
yeah,
okay, that's true.
Dumbledore even says he wanted Newt to go after Grindelwald because
he doesn't like
doesn't like power. Because Dumbledore says he turned down the Ministry of Magic position because he didn't trust himself with the power.
Yeah.
After going after the Deathly Hallows.
Let's be real. Well, honestly, Dumbledore is not a very trustworthy person all around at all.
Like Osmond.
Yeah. It's the same vibe with him too.
But so you
it has to be on the father's side. It has to be personal because the mom, Kendra, she died.
Mm-hmm. The sister died.
And
then we only knew about Dumbledore or Aberforth and Albus.
They have an aunt too, though.
Do they?
I looked in the Dumbledore family tree. They have an aunt.
But on what side? If it's on the mom's side, it's not.
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't think they said. It was just there.
Because the thing is, like, you can obviously break out of Azkaban. It's been done before. He could have had a kid. The kid could have been getting out of the way or getting out of the country because people, you know, maybe he thought would come looking for him. That's just the only explanation that I can see. Yeah, but again,
there's a lot of questions when it comes to that. But again, it's only the second movie. They're still building and trying to fine tune everything that they're building in this universe right now. So I don't know. There's one other thing I was about to say.
Yeah, it's not confirmed if she is on the mom's or dad's side.
Is loyal to it comes to those who are loyal to him. But I think you believe.
No, he was talking about the sword.
Sword.
Yeah, it's the sword.
No,
of
the
Gryffindor.
sword is of Gryffindor.
The sword of Gryffindor is loyal to a very true Gryffindor.
Yeah,
and it will appear before them in the sword.
So Fawkes he sends.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
At the same time.
So it.
You don't know.
We don't. Again, real fast. How do you think Nagini is going to turn either to the dark side or join Voldemort's side? What do you think we're going to see her permanent transformation in the next few movies?
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be too big of a cliffhanger to leave.
Yeah, why would you introduce her?
Yeah.
Because you never think... I never once went into like, I wonder if that snake was a human. Like, never once think that.
It was like, because you never
How do you think
knew
she's going
what
to
about
change
this
then
was.
to go to Voldemort's side? Because Voldemort's...
Probably just lies so I can change you back. The Master of the Dark Arts that does snake stuff. I think you're going to listen to
I mean, it could just be because he can also, he can talk to snakes. He is partial tongue, so he can...
She's lonely for years.
She's been lonely. She's been turned into a snake. Because he says one day she'll turn.
Yeah, like the only person you could actually talk to would be a partial tongue,
right.
So I could see that.
So if it was Harry... No, well, Harry can only speak it because of Voldemort anyway.
However, she might go over if... I mean, again, we don't know if Voldemort and Grindelwald ever cross paths. So
Voldemort,
if they do...
In this movie, it was 1927. Voldemort was born that year.
Yeah, Voldemort was born that year.
So by the 5th book, what year does Dumbledore defeat Grindelwald?
It's in World War II, I know that. So like 45, 46 or
maybe
something.
Maybe Voldemort might make an appearance just as Tom Riddle at the orphanage. Maybe we'll even have like almost like a connecting scene of when Dumbledore went to talk to Tom Riddle at the orphanage. Connecting the two movie universes. Maybe.
But nothing is impossible.
Or what if the movie ends, like the last movie ends, Grindelwald's defeated, he goes to the prison and everything, and it ends with Tom Riddle getting sorted into Slytherin. That would be kind of cool.
That would be.
And then you're going to have another set of movies of Tom Riddle in his school years.
I would love that. And you can see Hagrid as a student.
The thing we have been begging him to do for years is the Marauders.
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see that a lot more.
That's all I want. The Marauders.
What's that?
The people who... Sirius Black.
Sirius, James Potter, Peter Pettigrew, and Remus Lupin.
The creators of the Marauders map.
AKA Snape, Harry Potter, Snape, and...
But why would that be interesting?
Because
just seeing their dad's reaction,
friendship.
Yeah.
Like they literally learned how to be animagus.
Seeing how they became friends, seeing how their bond became grew with Lupin, and then seeing when Peter betrayed them.
Yeah, like just seeing that
to the point where two of them died for James Potter's son.
That would be really cool. Like, maybe not even a trilogy, maybe just even one movie, seeing their friendship grow and ending it with Harry getting...
Exactly.
So I have a fun question. If you could make a spin-off of this Harry Potter universe, so what you said Marauders.
Yeah.
I think Marauders would be one of my favorites.
Marauders would definitely be probably no
There's
tops.
no other things you guys would want?
I would want to see what...
The Founders.
Founders going all the way back to doing how Hogwarts was built and all that stuff. That would be cool.
Or maybe just origins of like some of the mysterious things, like how Nicholas Flamel made the Philosopher's Stone, or the Mirror Erised, or the veil where Sirius fell through.
Yeah.
So like origins to just those kind of things can just be like really quick 5-minute animations they could do, just like building the world. But Founders or Marauders, I would say for me.
Okay, and also very quick, how much time do we have left?
As much as you want.
Because why was Nicholas Flamel in this movie?
I think it was a fun Easter egg. It would have been a fun...
Because he's a real person.
Yeah.
Like he is real French. He is French, but like he almost had like no point to be there.
I was hoping he would actually use the Philosopher's Stone in the movie.
Yeah, they just show it.
When they open, I was like,
it's just there.
Yeah, I thought he was going to use it.
And then I was like...
And it's
But
closed.
the Notebook, I think it had a phoenix on it.
It did.
Mm-hmm.
So is that like the stages of the Order of the Phoenix? Do you think
that, or maybe the Philosopher's Stone?
The Flamel's family emblem is a phoenix,
and maybe Fox created the stone, or vice versa.
But who did he talk? That's what I'm saying.
Who was he talking to?
Yeah.
I have popcorn in my
Oh, that black chick?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought y'all knew that.
No.
Oh, you don't know.
I just got real excited when I saw the Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah,
like I knew it was gonna be
Shining
a movie.
Glory.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna. Yeah, I knew it was just like the thing that he was there for like almost like fan service. It wasn't like because we had never seen him before. We're like, oh,
it's like the very.
He's like a Watcher, though, right? He's immortal. That's what he said.
Well,
yeah,
he's
because
immortal until the end of the first Harry Potter
Philosopher's
movie.
Stone.
Because when the full first movie, Voldemort was trying to get his hands on the Philosopher's Stone to become immortal. That's Voldemort's plan. That's why he makes Horcrux, so he can't die. When Voldemort is defeated at the end of book 1 and movie 1, Dumbledore is in the hospital wing with Harry and talks to him, saying that I had a long talk with my friend Nicholas, and he said him and his wife have built up enough elixir to live the life that they want, and eventually they will pass on, but they're going to destroy the stone.
Yeah.
And they're gonna like settle their affairs. That's the only reason they lived longer than the stone.
So the stone is destroyed after book 1.
Yeah. So we don't actually know if they're like alive or dead.
Yeah.
And we don't know, but we do know they have some elixir of life left.
Yeah, all we know is
and they're gonna die eventually.
They have enough to survive another 300 years.
But I mean, I guess thinking back, it makes sense because Dumbledore did say like this is the safe place. Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
I guess it makes sense. Other than introducing another character.
Another thing is something that Ben always complained about, and we kind of briefly touched on it with Dumbledore being gay, was that in the trailers, like, I can't move on Grindelwald, and we talked about this after the movie as well. I just thought it was really good that the reason he can't move on him was because of the blood curse or blood bond that they have.
Yeah, the blood oath.
To what extent does that... Like, again, the
I
unbreakable
mean, it's like
vow explain in the book as it's happening.
Right. Mm-hmm. And again, maybe they'll explain in the next movie exactly what it is. Because he was like, can you break it? He's like, I might.
And why did that show up in the mirror?
Yeah, like
because the mirror is what you want
your
the most.
desire.
Which he lied to us about. He told us it was socks.
Maybe it was
then he
socks.
said it was his family. And now it's his
the mirror can't change. The image in the mirror can't change.
Family? Maybe family is Grindelwald. Maybe he considered him... He said he's closer than a brother. Maybe he's so close he's family. And
he's in love with his brother?
I'm right here.
Disgust. No, like, I get what you're saying, but to me, that was like something that I know as a kid, I was like, what does Dumbledore see? And that was very disappointing to be like, oh, okay.
Well, he's
something that they just showed us and then replayed several times. Mm-hmm. That was what we saw. It couldn't have actually been socks. That would have been exciting. More exciting than that.
I would disagree. I don't want to see socks.
You don't want to see... Nobody ever gives Dumbledore socks. And all he wants is socks.
That's all he wants.
Wait, but did they say the image in the map or the mirror can't change ever?
No, it should be able to change.
It goes by what your heart most desires.
Yeah, at the moment. So, like, at the moment, he saw, like, Grindelwald when they were young. He desired, like, what they had back then when they had the summer at Godric's Hollow together.
Yeah, but I don't understand, like, why it went to, like, a memory. Like, maybe if you want Grindelwald, then why is it showing the blood?
That's
like, the blood. Like, the blood. I
bet you anything the stories are going to connect to Godric's Hollow.
Godric's Hollow, when they had that summer together, but then, like, they showed the blood oath because he wants the vial that he got at the end of the movie. He wants that because he can't go against Grindelwald until he has it and he can destroy it. Maybe that's why.
Because he says, he's like, what are you going to do with it? He's like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Does anybody want to see what happens if they try and fight each other?
Yes.
Because it's just we can't. It's just like, but what happens?
Maybe they
both. But what if it's the whole thing, like if they say the same spell at the same time and their wands connect type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Like that could happen too, I guess.
Which ones are you talking about?
Like oh my gosh.
Oh my god, the wands touched. Oh no.
Can't have that.
Just the tip.
Stop. The news.
Oh god. But I don't know. Anybody else have anything else? Nope.
Just my side rant about how J.K. Rowling doesn't understand the schools in America. But that has nothing to do with the movie, so no.
I just hope she can pull it off. Like, this is a good twist if she can pull it off, and if it makes sense. Because I will follow that woman all the way. But this movie could have been solved, and you could have taken like half an hour or an hour out of it.
Exactly.
So real fast.
Well, you can, but if you guarantee 5 movies from the beginning, you're gonna extend it. That's what
There's gonna be slow parts.
I think these two are. The first two are gonna be the slowest ones. The first 2 movies just built the world.
Yeah.
First one we saw the new characters. Second one we saw Grindelwald's side of the story and how he built his army.
And maybe
now all the pieces are put into play. Now we can see it actually go out.
And maybe like she said 5 movies because the whole trend is I'd make the last movie part 1, part 2. She was like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to take my time with it. I get what you were saying earlier about the whole book thing, the movie, but like maybe having 5 movies is better than just having a trilogy.
So here's the thing, though. Like, saying that, she already has the whole series written out at this point.
You would hope so.
Oh, I think she definitely does.
But we don't know that for a fact.
Before they said, here, let's get 5 movies, the studio probably was like, yeah, but what's going to happen in each movie? Yeah.
She probably kept it really close to the chest.
Well, at least with the DC universe and all these other movies making these universes, studios are coming in and just chopping up stories.
Mm-hmm.
But I think she cares for her world too much to let that happen. I really do.
It's not up to her.
Yes, it is.
She has. I don't think so. That's why the DC universe is getting destroyed. Because executives are coming in. And
J.K. Rowling has most of the leeway when it comes.
rights.
It's like she's writing these screenplays. She is the writer of these.
She can write it, but she's not directing.
Yeah, but if she's writing,
No, at the end there, it showed like all these credits. She's pretty much, her hand is
Everywhere.
moving. This.
I think we all seen these different universes getting destroyed by executives and.
I just don't want
movies.
her. I just like Harry Potter ended so beautifully. Well,
the book did. The movie with him cracking the wand. And
yeah, that was just kind of. We don't talk about that.
What?
But
He broke the Elder Wand in the end of the movie and just threw it away. In the book, he fixed his wand and then put the Elder Wand in Dumbledore's grave so that when Harry dies, there's no Master of the Elder Wand. And then he talked to Dumbledore's portrait in his office. It was a really good closing. The movie just didn't do any of that. Right. And it would have maybe made it 5 minutes longer.
Why didn't they do that?
Because we don't know. The director.
it was really sweet when he goes to talk to Dumbledore.
Yeah, when he talked to his portrait,
Kinda
just
like,
had the closure with him.
It's kind of like, hey, I did it, and like I threw the wand
Like,
away, and
I died, I came back to life.
I saw you, and you were like, "What you want to do, boo?" And
I don't know why the movie didn't add that.
I don't know.
Especially just him breaking the wand. Because Harry, he doesn't want the power. That makes sense. But he always favored his wand. And they made that a big deal. Because when he got attacked by Nagini in Godric's Hollow, his wand cracked. It was like snap. They tried to fix it with Hermione's, but it didn't fix it. They needed powerful magic, so they needed the Elder Wand.
He could have used the Elder Wand to fix his wand, but anyway.
Yeah, like that's why.
Just saying.
I'm just saying you missed an entire
The
plot
most
point.
powerful wand.
And also, when Sirius died in the third book, when he was going to the different ghosts in the school asking how he could bring Sirius back,
Sirius back.
And none of the ghosts were prominently shown, and it really makes me mad.
and they didn't have
Because
Peeves
Peeves
either.
is a jerk, and he's
Peeves?
Peeves is a amazing, and he is a what's the word, a manifestation of all the mischief in the castle. That's really cool.
like, I love him. And
They casted
don't do
him. They casted Peeves, but the reason they didn't put him in the movies was because the actor who played Peeves was making the child actors, Ron, Harry, and Hermione, laugh too much. They couldn't focus, so they cut him. That's why.
He's too funny. That was his role, right? That's Peeves.
Yeah.
But I guess they utilized the Weasley twins more
Yeah.
because of that.
But they don't have all of them, all the family. They don't have George,
Or
the dragon tamer one.
Bill.
Bill
Is supposed to be the buff
Yeah,
hot
they don't have Bill.
I know.
My name is Bill.
I was waiting.
I'm a buff hot redhead. It's like, yes.
Okay.
No.
Anyway, let's close out of this. Everyone, I guess, what are your not final thoughts, but like final review score out of 10?
Oh, you don't want that.
I'll start then. I'll give it a 7. If I gave the first movie 8, I'll give this one a 7.
I'll give something like a 4.5.
Okay.
I'll give this one a 3.
Helen's making this face like, I don't want to say my score.
I don't. You? I would honestly give it a 2.5. I would say because, again, everything that happened we've seen before. It was too long. It was kind of sloppy. There were questions that were put in your mind that should have been answered before you left the theater, and they weren't. And, however, I will say this. It will change if those questions are answered later.
I was about to ask that question. I was like, after you see the future movie, will you like this one more?
I think I will.
Except for
But it just did not.
Alright, Quentin, your
Didn't
score.
do it.
I'll give it a 6. I think you guys just love Harry Potter too much.
I'm optimistic with a lot of things, and
I'm very involved in this universe.
I think you guys have you know all the answers of the original Harry Potter series, so you feel like you knew that the whole time.
You don't want anything to change.
But all these things, the answers you guys have now that you're spitting out, y'all didn't know when you first, second, like out of the 7 books, you didn't know any of this stuff by a single.
That's what I'm saying.
But
Like
reading
after
the books,
you watch,
I didn't leave the movie theater or go on to the next book being like, oh my gosh, I hate this book. Like,
no, but maybe you're like, what about this? What about this? What about
you
that?
had more
And
questions.
you found out later on.
But they were like optimistic questions and curious questions, not like
That's
what
not
the
this world.
Like,
All of my
but
questions are-
there
all
were
of my questions
questions
are
like,
curious.
again, Nicholas Flamel, who was he talking to?
Maybe we'll get the answer next movie.
But that shouldn't have been that because
But the thing is, if
How
this
did
was a book,
McGonagall's age get completely
if this was a book
completely
and
misinterpreted?
you read that Nicholas Flamel was talking to someone, they didn't say who, you'll be asking the same question. Answer the next book.
no, she would have tied that.
Yeah.
She ties up loose
But you don't
ends.
know that for a fact.
McGonagall is at least 25 in this movie.
I'm not talking about
McGonagall.
acting.
I get your complaint,
It's,
but I'm talking about
I'm
Helen's.
not. I'm looking at it from a movie perspective, taking out the world before it.
So, okay, but
And I
based
also
on our
have
show,
a very, 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 very.
Very.
It's very hard for me to give a 10 to any movie.
Okay.
I've probably done
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
you were
twice.
comparing this movie to Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah,
That is okay.
yeah.
Why
I
are
think
you
that's
doing that?
outrageous.
It's not Wrinkle Time. It has nothing to do with it.
So
Oh, have you seen Wrinkle in Time?
I haven't,
It
but
is
listen
god
to your...
awful, and this movie
Oh
is not god awful.
no! I wanted to watch it. Is
It's-
it that bad?
It's
It-
sad.
Okay, we're gonna end
But
this
no-
right now.
Yeah, no, but I would just say, final thought, it's not, like, it was just the movie as a whole. They also,
They jacked some characters up.
Yeah.
Man. They jacked.
Okay,
some
so from
characters
my
up,
6,
man.
I think from a person that truly looks at this as just movies, you guys all look at it as a Harry Potter universe because you guys read the books.
Yeah, but I'm
Like,
not
so-
mad. I'm not mad about what happened.
It's your opinion. It's okay. I just think since you guys are so involved with the story in these books that you expecting a certain thing because you're like, yeah, in the book she closed that gap and let's get that gap. Like these aren't books; these are movies. Fantastic Beasts are a movie series. It's not a book series. And from a movie perspective, I think it gave us enough questions to want to still get 3 new movies. You need to have those questions. Like in TV shows, you need to get all these cliffhangers because you need those answers.
And that's a TV show, not a 3-hour movie.
It wasn't 3 hours, but...
It felt like it, man.
It felt very
Okay.
long.
I think it left enough to ask that I want to see the next 3 movies in this
Right,
series.
same.
So I'll give it a 6.
And I'm more on Quentin's point of view as well, but again, those are our opinions. I guess we're going to close this episode out. If you are interested in hearing about Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald on a different podcast, maybe a different point of view, and hear more of Helen's side of disliking the movie and Quentin of defending it or being optimistic.
Let me pitch my own shit.
Okay.
Language.
Well, you can edit it out.
I don't need to.
Well, I don't care. All right, so please come on, check over MUVIESHQ. It's with me and Helen. We're a couple that reviews movies. It's a little casual. We're not experts or anything, but we like to talk about movies, and we will go and dive a little bit deeper. We go into different things like cast, directing, set production, and other things like that, and I'll get an overall score and rate the movie. So apparently, we have not done this yet, but apparently Helen's ranking it at 2.5. We'll see when we go into actually dive and dissect all the elements of this film. But if you like movies and you like hanging out and doing things like this, I think you guys will enjoy it. So go check us out, MUVIESHQ. We're on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Got a couple different places you can check us out at.
So yeah, if you want to check them out, go ahead and do that, and that'll be awesome. It's MUVIESHQ with movies with a U, not an O. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. We've been Apartment Shenanigans, and I guess we'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Bye.